Yeah, yeah.
Baby, what's the name of the podcast?
It's a pod named Kickback. A pod named Kickback. It's like a tribe called Quest. You say the whole thing.
Hey. Y'all see the logo up there. Um, Welcome to a pod named Kickback, also known as the Black CNN, and the revolution will be televised. I'm no Bray Snow, the righteous ratchet. If you throw it, I'll catch it. If you got it, I'll match it. Every Monday,
Monday.
we right back at it. I am the Black Savage.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's JV Frank. I'm that gangster geek coming at you every Monday. Represent NWA Nerds with Attitude. Happy Monday, y'all. We're happy to see you back.
Yeah, we're using a new app, so I'm not sure if y'all are getting crunkly sounds or if it sounds perfect. So let us know. Give us some feedback on the sound, if you would.
Much appreciated.
And, yeah, man. So what you been up to this week, JB?
Man, same old shit as always, man. Nowadays, social distancing, staying isolated, and working from home. Although, the governor in Georgia, Brian Kemp, has opened up the state, and my office is, officially going back to work on Monday. With that, however, I'm still isolated because I'm at risk being diabetic and whatnot. But yeah, it's everything's opening up.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we saw the videos this week of people out in the streets, people in DC down at the damn mall watching the bluebirds fly. People in Atlanta was having like a crap game going. I don't know what the fuck they was doing. They say the sound sounds good, so it might just be what we hearing.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
On Facebook. That's a great thing. But getting into our weeks, as you guys see, we use a new software. It has the logo up there in the corner. I think I'm pointing to it now. We have a scroll bar at the bottom. We got our names on the screen. We'll be able to show you different articles, and we got a couple surprises for you along the way. We're just trying to make sure we give you the best content. If we got to do the social distancing thing, if we got to use an app, we want to use the app that's going to, give you the best product.
Exactly.
Separate us from everybody else is just using Zoom. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shmi for helping us and shit. Power to 5.
Indeed. He hooked us up with a solid app new. So we're gonna test this shit out this week and see how it works. But so far, so good. You know what I'm saying?
So far, so good. So what's your high low of the week, JB? What's your high low?
High low. For me,
that was smooth too. JB. I see the high low on the screen.
For me, the high low, my high has really been just handling shit at work. I had a whole bunch of shit pop off at work that I needed to deal with, a whole bunch of little extra shit thrown at me this week at work. I had to bring on 7 new employees in 3 days, and I was able to handle it. So that was a personal high for me. The personal low for me was dealing with all of my employees asking me why we were coming back to work. Like what the fuck, Joe? And I had to basically look them in the eye over video conference or whatever and be like, this is not my decision. But I hate being in that kind of situation.
Yeah. My low of the week was just trying to find my groove, my entrepreneurial thing, and trying to get my business going and get what I'm trying to do off the ground, and just hitting roadblocks along the way. Feel like I'm getting pushed back. Part of it is COVID-19. Part of it is maybe my motivation. Part of it is circumstance. Whatever. Just trying to get on the right path and stay on the right path.
Right.
I realized that I might not be on that right path, so I got to reassess some things. That was a low. Just kind of coming to that conclusion, having that real talk with yourself. When you sit yourself down like, nigga, what we gonna do? You gonna work for niggas forever? What we gonna do? Having that talk and realizing I wasn't doing everything possible to change my situation. My high was my cousin Shauna's birthday a couple days ago, and we have a group chat with all the family in it. So Joyce is in the group chat trying to call Shauna and don't know what she's doing. And on the FaceTiming me. And my phone is ringing. I'm like, who's this in the chat trying to call me? And I answer, and it's Aunt Joyce. I'm like, Aunt Joyce, you FaceTiming now? You trying to FaceTime? Like, what the fuck? We wound up talking for like 20 minutes, but actually seeing her. Because the only time we can FaceTime is when like Nikki around and to give her the phone. So I'm just sitting there holding the phone, looking at Aunt Joyce, talking to her for about 20 minutes, and that was my high of the week.
Yeah, that's a pretty good high. That's a pretty good high. Talking about face to face is awesome. How's she look? How's she doing? Yeah?
She looking good, man. She said she was talking about the whole Corona shit. It was like she was in a nursing home. And she was like, nah, niggas was getting that shit up in there. I got to fuck about that. Like, fuck that shit. I'm going home.
Sounds just like Aunt Joyce, though. That's what's
she's still complaining, but the doctors, she's taking dialysis now, and every time they do something wrong, she's like, these motherfuckers got me doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. But she was in good spirits, and that made me feel good. You know what I'm saying?
Good. I'm glad to hear that, young. That's a dope high. Your high uplifted me a little bit.
Good. Oh man. Now we got as y'all know, we've been doing a kickback battle series. So actually I'll introduce this properly. My last joke just went viral. Our viral stories of the week. I'll start with us, JB, our kickback battles. I saw a post today that somebody said, man, if only Prince and Michael Jackson were allowed to do a battle. Nigga, we did that battle a month ago.
Right.
And we gave you Boyz II Men versus Jodeci. And we gave you Tupac versus Biggie. And this last Friday, we gave you Jay-Z versus Nas. And that was a great battle. I think that battle could have went either way. Great music, listening to that 90s hip-hop, late 90s, early 2000s. Take you back to that mind frame. Take you back in that space, and you're just rocking out. And it's Nas and Jay-Z. So it's banger after banger after banger after banger after classic. And you're sitting there like, God damn. Like, you could play this shit in the club probably. Just go right. Jay-Z Nas all night. Who gonna complain? You know what I'm saying?
Every time we do one of these battles, I am particularly struck by the genius of each one of the artists that we explore week after week, because they're such great battles. There's such great songs for each of them, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that part to me is one of the most fun things about this jump.
Yeah, man. And then everybody commenting, everybody jumping in, everybody going, nah, you got to come with this, JB. Oh, no, you got to play this. Oh, Randy said you won a Nas Jay-Z battle. Get out of here, Randy, RJ. But she said she think you won the, she always hate. But that's always a good time. And it's certain songs you forget. Like, I'm trying to think what songs they be gonna play. I wonder if you gonna play this or play that. And you put on something, I'm like, oh shit, I totally forgot about that one. Like, that's always a good thing.
Yeah. I was mad as shit when you played niggas in Paris though. I was like, I got nothing. And I love this fucking song. Brought me back to 2013. Yeah. I was watching out in the car on the way to the club and shit.
Hell yeah.
So
we gotta figure out what we doing next week. I don't know if we should let them pick it. I think this time we do. We let y'all pick it. We're gonna let y'all pick the battle. I promise I will make a post tonight with the poll, and I'll let it go until Wednesday. I got from now until Wednesday to tell us who to pick, and then we'll decide. We'll give you some options. I can do the write-in thing. I still like the idea of New Edition as a group versus New Edition, the individual groups, the artists or whatever.
I do too.
I could go with Vaughn said Cash Money No Limit. That seemed like a good one. What about some ladies? They doing Jill Scott and Erykah Badu. We said Whitney Mariah before.
That'll be fun.
Who would Janet go against? Is there anybody as big as Janet?
I don't know. Janet J-Lo, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know that many J-Lo songs.
I don't either. I just do this shit out there.
Yeah. Mary J. Blige go against like Keisha Cole?
Right.
Somebody of that ilk. We got time to figure it out. We figure out some good shit. Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. I don't know who the hell Drake could go against. Drake and Lil Wayne. Drake versus Lil Wayne would be that'd be a monster one. We'll figure it out. If y'all got any ideas, let us know. We're gonna do the I don't know what all that's about.
Hey Nicole, how you doing?
Glad to see you tuned in. What y'all think about the Jill Scott versus Erykah Badu battle that Versus is doing? I think that's a really good one out the gate for the ladies. I'm going with Erykah because she's a 5%er and one of my crushes from back in the day. But Jill Scott got music. Jill Scott got hits, and Jill Scott's sexy ass, boy. Hey, but you know what? This is a good one. Jeremy said J-Lo and Ashanti. Now, that actually works.
That might actually work. That might be a good one.
Damn. But me and Ashanti broke up, so I don't want to, even really be in that space right now. You know what I'm saying?
This guy.
You know what's funny? I keep make the relationship jokes about Ashanti and shit. And I made the whole we broke up thing the other day, and everybody on Facebook, oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear y'all broke up. I was praying for y'all, all this to be in city, right? And then Ashanti released all these new pictures looking beautiful. I'm like, dog, it is just like with a real girlfriend. You break up and then she get mad and
you go ham on Facebook.
I'm like, yeah, Ashanti is trying to kill me with this shit, dog. What is wrong with her? Fine ass. Rihanna. Who would Rihanna go against? Beyonce? Rihanna, Beyonce.
Wow. Now
that's the battle. That's the battle.
Now that's a battle. Yes. That's yes. That's it.
I'm typing this shit up right now. Damn, that is the battle, young. I think we got it. We got it right there. Fuck it, we moving on since we got it. That was it, man. Another thing that kind of went viral was Tiffany Haddish. For those who don't know, she was in her house doing an interview with, I forget who it was, and they was like, tell us something interesting, give us some tea, tell us something. It was Kevin Hart. Like, tell us something nobody knows. And she has her phone in her hand, and she does like this, or like this, and shows that on her sofa was Common. And they're like, Common and Tiffany Haddish are quarantining together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They getting their quarantine and chill on for real.
Yeah.
And apparently this started out with a virtual date, so the relationship kind of started during COVID.
Yeah, I thought they were being funny with that. I didn't know that was a real date. And now I'm like, oh shit. And now to quarantine with somebody, you gotta fuck with them on a level. Because I've been ahead by myself.
Yeah,
that's
real. I wonder if they both got tested and determined that they're either both positive or negative or whatever it is, and that's why they decided to bunk up together. I mean, I guess that's the only thing that makes sense. But I mean, that's great. I mean, I ain't mad at them. Good for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey man, Tiffany got a little fatty on her, and on the low, Common a sniper. Common had Serena Williams, Curry Washington, Erykah Badu. Common a sniper, young. Angela Rye. Common be shooting.
Yeah, he doing the damn thing. He doing all right over there.
Yeah. Shit.
I know, right?
He's doing all right, but there's some niggas out here that's not doing all right, JB.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
We gotta
that's
move
real
into another story with Chris Styles from Duce Palooza, party promoter, signed to Jay-Z's Roc Nation. They promote the brand Duce Liquor, and they do these traveling parties. It's all the rave. It's gotten so big that they've actually done one in the Barclays Center in New York. They're doing them at basketball arenas now. They're bringing out performers. It's a really big thing, and it's ran by Rory from the Joe Budden podcast. So one of Rory's associates with the Duce Palooza was charged with, well, he's not charged with anything. A couple of tweets went off from girls saying that he had sexually assaulted them, be it, pulling his dick out, aggressively touching them, trying to get him naked, trying to get him drunk, trying to get him high. And when they don't comply, don't give in to sex, he'll kick them out. He'll drop them off in the middle of nowhere, or just be rude, calling bitches and just being disrespectful. And a couple women spoke out, more than a couple more, than a lot more. I think it's like 26 women that have spoken out saying he's exhibited this behavior. They actually have a conversation he's having with one of the women saying that he knows, like he don't know why he's doing what he's doing. And she's like, you know why you doing this shit, motherfucker, like, And one of his good buddies, Rory, essentially said he cut him off totally, which leads me to believe they had a conversation and he couldn't justify his actions. He couldn't explain it away other than he was just being a fucking creep, a dirtbag. This is weird for me. It's rough because we spent years dealing with the Me Too movement, dealing with women telling us, how they feel when men act a certain way. Fellas, if any of this confuses you, ask the women in your life. Me and JB really sat down with the women in our lives and had several conversations about what sexual assault is versus sexual, versus rape, sex abuse, what coercion is, but just running the gamut and making sure that we totally understood. And then we did several shows on this. So us coming from a perspective of we dealt with this, we've looked at it, we've studied it, we talked to women, and so our perspective is a little bit different. And I just feel like this nigga is ass, like he trash. And doing this kind of shit is trash nigga shit. And I've seen niggas saying like, nah, them bitches be lying, and how y'all just gonna believe them. And I heard women say niggas don't really care, y'all don't care about what women go through. And I'm just like, I don't know what none of y'all are talking about. I know where we stand, maybe because we older and we in our 40s, we look at the world a little bit differently. But my immediate thing was he needed help. He needs to be held accountable, and he needs some kind of psychiatric attention.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Nu. What jumped out at me was clearly this individual has a problem, and when I say problem, I mean specifically a mental issue. Now, that does not excuse his actions in any way, shape, or any way, shape, or form. But you also got to respect what Rory did for his homeboy, because sometimes when your friends do fuck shit like this, the best thing you can do is stand on your own morals and let them niggas go. My G, I love you. You're still my brother, but I'll holler at you after you get some therapy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll holler at you after you fix this shit. The best thing for us to do now is not be friends, because I don't fuck with anything that you're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? So you got to respect Corey for taking that position with his homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know anybody. I don't think I know anybody that would do any, like, if he had gotten mad at one girl and broke up with her or didn't want to date her no more, whatever, not the nicest thing, but it's your prerogative. She didn't want to fuck, you don't want to date her, whatever. This nigga put the women down 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. They got to walk 2, 3 miles to a train station to try to get home. It's like, it's beyond the over-aggressiveness. It's beyond that. It's like, how you treat them afterwards? Like, I've had women in my spot that didn't want to do nothing. At the end of the night, I still walked them to their car. One, we still gonna have fun. We're not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna pout on the sofa. We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna walk you to your car, give you a hug, whatever. Text me when you get home, and I'm gonna come back in the house. I'm even gonna jerk off and call another chick. I'm just being honest. But I can't imagine being mean to somebody, like being evil, like, you want me to pussy? What
Yeah,
the
I
fuck?
mean, why? Like, this nigga is doing so well. Why is he so thirsty? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
great question.
it's just bad all the way around. Like, you know, fuck niggas like that are not a frequent part of our lives. So this isn't really something that we are overly exposed to. I do want to echo your points, New, about the fact that we talk to ladies about these types of bad situations that arise and how they felt so that we could better understand their perspective. I think that all men should do that. And fellas, just a word of advice, just from the Gangsta Geek, when you're in those conversations, you need to be listening, not talking. Your opinion is not relevant at that point because you don't even know what the fuck it is that they're saying. You know what I'm saying? You need to shut the fuck up and listen and absorb and understand. Even if you don't agree, you need to understand what is being said. And that's all I'm going to say about that, New.
Tell them the story, JB, about my Mel and Lex was telling us about the experiences at the club and shit.
Oh yeah, so they're saying like going to the club was like horrible for them. Like they always had to be on guard. They always had to be in a position to protect themselves. They didn't ever feel comfortable, getting drinks from anyone who offered to buy them a drink because who knows what the fuck could happen. Niggas would try and slip shit into their drinks and shit. They talked about motherfuckers putting hands on them as they're walking through the club. Niggas just being incredibly inappropriate during dancing.
And so y'all know what they did was they had me and JB pretend to be women in the club. So we would walk and have to walk through them, and they showed us this how niggas get all in their face, hand here, hand there, grab my dick. Like, that's what they do to us every day in the club. And you kind of feel weird because you're like, because I'm like, I've seen niggas like aggressive with girls up in their face talking to them, and I'd be like, oh, he's trying to get her number. But I'm like, if you was a total stranger and a woman and a drunk nigga just up in your face, hey baby, you kind of like, hey, like even if you want to get a nigga your number, you probably like, damn nigga, why you so close and why you touching me? Like, stop touching me. I'm listening to you. What are you saying? And so they kind of walked us through that exercise, and at the end of it, we was sitting there like, yo.
Yeah, like incredibly inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I'd have stole a couple of motherfuckers behind.
Right.
Like,
and it's Kristen said it's not thirst, just a general disregard for women as anything more than pussy. And I agree with that because the minute that you can't get the pussy, she's nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's weird because niggas obviously don't have no, like, they have no regard. At the end of the night, you're going to leave her at 3 a.m, 3 miles away from any transportation. That means you don't give a fuck about her life. Like, her life literally means nothing to you. Like, that's crazy.
And that was the extreme. And that was the extreme that Chris Styles is taking it to, which is, I mean, in my mind, it's criminal. Like, real talk. Like, I mean, leaving women stranded in Brooklyn at 3 o'clock in the morning and shit. Like, really, Mudgy? Like what are we talking about right now? You know what I'm saying?
I'll drive a woman home angry as shit before I leave her in the fucking street. And I tell you, like JB will tell you, women, like, we do the kickbacks, and that's why we the kickbackers and all that shit. That's why the podcast, we always having game nights. It's always a bunch of women around us. I mean, like, if shit hadn't gone down, when I stopped dealing with the shit and all this shit crazy happening, we probably will all be quarantined together now. Like, that's how close and tight we was. Girls couldn't walk to their cars by themselves at night. If we having a kickback and we leaving the house at 2 a.m, the rule is a woman can't go to her car unless she has a male escort. Like, that's how you treat women. So this nigga just dropping women off in the middle of nowhere. It's like, it's bad, you know, it's bad. And you can do fucked up shit and people can go, well, that wasn't that, he'll mature. Like, he's doing bad things. What if one of the women would have gotten raped? Well, not just by him, but just being out at 3 a.m, drunk, because he got him drunk in the middle of nowhere. What if they got him robbed? What if they got him murdered? Like, he thought of none of that. Just that I can't get the pussy, so figure it out, bitch. And that's
it makes zero sense whatsoever. I think this guy is disturbed. I really, really do. It is not an excuse at all. He needs to get help before his ass winds up in jail. I mean, let's just leave it at that.
Or killed. You know what I'm saying? You bringing these women to your house and you putting hands on them and grabbing them up and kicking them out and cussing them out. And one of them chicks got a brother. One of them chicks got a father.
One of them chicks just might have a gun. One of them just might have a gun. You know what I'm saying? They'll deal with you on their own.
real quick, JB. Chris was saying, you know, man, she got put off a bus on 8th and H at 1 a.m. and was lost, and she was 16. She asked a truck driver for directions, and he said she had to fuck him first. And when she refused, he just started throwing bottles at her.
What?
Fellas, talk to the women in your life. They'll tell you just how trash niggas really is. They'll tell you.
That's just awful, young. My heart goes out to you. That is, I mean, niggas shouldn't do shit like that. Simply put, that's just bad. I got no words for that, dude. That's just.
Yeah, that should have been our what the fuck story of the week. But we're gonna move on from that bullshit and get into something more positive. But we are on our what the fuck story of the week. So our what the fuck story of the week. JB's cousins over in Wuhan, we've just discovered that the Five Eyes, the 5 English-speaking countries that are doing investigation, have discovered that the coronavirus was in fact created in a lab in Wuhan. And it was leaked either accidentally or on purpose, but it was leaked out, and of course it spread. And the Chinese government lied about how it was spread. They lied about how quickly it was spreading, and they lied about the fact that it was created in a laboratory. And they should be held accountable for that, because that information could have done a little more to prepare us. But it wouldn't have done a lot more to prepare us in the U.S. because of Trump's inefficiency, firing the pandemic team that Obama put in place, dismissing it as fake. What's his name? Fake news? It's fake news.
Yeah.
Dismissing it as not even as bad as the flu. Dismissing it as when warm weather comes, it'll disappear. His ineptitude got us to this point. We would have had a better starting point if China had kept it a buck. What's your thoughts, JB?
No question, JB. JB, Jesus Christ. You hit the nail right on the head.
How you call me you?
I don't know, young. I don't know. I've been drinking. Anyway, no question, because you can actually go on YouTube and find stories in Wuhan, China, and in Australia of people who were on the front lines dealing with COVID-19 before it became a big thing, and how the Chinese government worked to hush them up, silence them. One of the doctors who first identified COVID-19 as a diagnosis in a hospital tried to go public with it, tried to become a whistleblower. He was actually quarantined and then isolated by the Chinese government, and he ultimately died in confinement in a hospital. That story is on YouTube. The story about other Australian families, one Australian citizen who has a wife who is a Chinese resident. She was in prison because it was thought that she had a high fever, even though she didn't exhibit COVID symptoms. And she was basically put on lockdown and told not to go anywhere or to say anything to anyone. Now, this was in early to mid-December, before everybody knew about COVID-19. So there are YouTube stories that can attest to the relative truth of that. Now, your second comments were also right on point in that these issues with COVID-19 do not excuse the Trump administration's ineptitude, number one. And number two, we cannot allow the Trump administration to use this COVID-19 conspiracy scandal as a smokescreen for his lack of a response throughout the crisis. You know, them starting it doesn't get him off the hook for being a shitty crisis president. Just being a shitty president in general. You feel me?
Yeah, he one of them dudes that'll drop you off at 3 a.m. if he can't get no pussy. We know he's one of those two.
Yeah,
if you don't get his way, you know, he'll fire you, he'll drop you off on the street corner, or he'll silence you, like he's trying to do with Dr. Anthony Fauci, and not letting him speak to the Senate about the early part of the pandemic and our preparation or lack thereof. Anthony Fauci is now cannot speak, cannot testify to our lack of preparation, and I would even go as far as to say the lack of opportunity to prepare ourselves by taking it lightly. So that's another interesting thing, JB. I don't know that I need to hear just how bad Trump handled it. I know he handled it bad. I want to know what they're doing now and how we're moving forward. But I mean, it's obvious, it's apparent why they don't want him to speak. He's the first. Anthony Fauci is the first one that came out and said, "Hey, this thing is disproportionately killing African Americans. It's disproportionately attacking us." And he said it's the diet, it's the health, it's diabetes, it's high blood pressure. So it's like, I appreciate him, and I don't like him silenced in any capacity, but I don't need any concrete proof as to how bad Trump handled this. I fucking know. But maybe if it came out, it would hurt him in the election. Well, maybe it should come out. Maybe we should be angrier that it won't come out.
Well, the important thing about him talking to the Senate Appropriations, I'm sorry, not the Senate Appropriations Committee, the House Appropriations Committee and the House Oversight Committee, is because they are assessing how Trump utilized all of the money that they gave him to deal with the virus. So the reason why this testimony would be important is because Fauci is basically there to be their check and balance against Trump. They basically going to ask him, hey, did Trump spend his bread like we told him to and like he promised he would? So the White House blocking him from saying anything to that Appropriations Committee is some of that misdirection that we're seeing with him blaming this thing on the COVID crisis. Furthermore, they're going to allow him to testify before the Senate committee, but not the House committee. Why? Because the Senate is Republican and the House is Democrat. That's why. So this is politics, which makes it fucked up, right? Because our COVID-19 news and our COVID-19 crisis management is being funneled through a political filter, and it cannot be new.
Yeah, it's crazy, JB. I just went and took a look. We are live on YouTube for those that don't know. Live on Facebook for those who listen on Mondays. You can tune in Sundays at 6 p.m. to watch it live and interact. Y'all see Kristen has a lot to say on everything. And we appreciate that and we welcome that. So everybody speak up. Everybody give us your thoughts. Let us know what you think about this shit. And it's if it couldn't get worse, JB. They are now murder hornets. What the hell is a murder hornet? A murder hornets. There are literally killer bees that are now in America. Dog, this in the world. This is the end of the world. You got motherfucking the COVID-19. Donald Trump is president. We got murder hornets.
Yeah.
Tom Brady left for England. The world is ending.
Now, before y'all, I'm just laughing at Kristen. I be talking, but then sometimes I be quiet. But so the Hornets were actually discovered in Washington State, so they're still in the upper northwest right now. These motherfuckers are supposed to be huge, up to 2 inches in size, which is not small for a hornet. I have been stung by a hornet before. It is fucked up. Hornets don't have barbed stingers, so they are one of those insects who can actually sting you more than once and then fly away and sting somebody else. So this is very, very scary to me. But
they just passing the Rona back and forth between niggas, stinging niggas and going to other niggas, passing the Rona. It's JB in the world.
I'm just glad they're in Washington State right now. That's all I can say about that.
Okay. Side note, Jeremy said Lauryn Hill and Janet Jackson. I think those are two different types of music. Kind of. I would put Ashanti against Janet Jackson.
Really?
Well, what was the one we came up with? Nah, Rihanna, Beyonce. Because Janet Jackson isn't a strong singer. So her music is dance music or fucking music. Ashanti isn't a strong singer. Her music is dance music or fucking music.
Right.
That's why I would put them. And Ashanti is in the Guinness Book of World Records for like most number ones by a woman in the start of her career. So she got the hits. And it's only to 20 songs. I wouldn't put Lauren because Lauren be rapping and singing. And Lauren got one album.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to put Lauren against anybody if you go into 20 songs. You would have to do with Lauren like an album versus an album. Like Lauren's Education versus like Mary J. Blige, Mr. 411. We could do that shit too. We got time. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll definitely figure it out, man.
I got stung by bees before. I think I told you the story on the podcast.
Yes,
I was about 8 years old, bored in Mayfair, decided to go play in the dumpster. Like literally in the dumpster. There was a mattress in the dumpster. So me and my little neighborhood friends got in the trash dumpster, one of them big ass ones, and was jumping up and down on the mattress and landed on a hornet's nest. And them bees came and stung up. It was running down the street. They were still following the stingers. I got in the house. My mother had to pour every fucking stinger out of me. Like, I thought I was going to die. And then after she got them all out of me, I calmed me down and took care of me. I got a whooping for playing in the dumpster.
Yeah, you have told that story, and it's fucked up. Let's just say, thank God those weren't hornets.
Yeah. Those
That's what's up.
Janet, they keep going back to this damn battle. Janet against Beyonce. That wouldn't, because of their dancing, that wouldn't be a bad matchup. I think Rihanna and Beyonce is the better matchup, though. What y'all think? That's what I think. I think Rihanna and Beyonce is the matchup.
I think so too, personally. I think that they kind of slide into the same era too of music, which makes it cleaner, easier.
I agree. I never got in the dumpsters ever again. That was the last time I was ever in a dumpster. Just so you guys know. I'm no longer playing dumpsters. But I was a little ghetto boy. We did a little ghetto shit. Our next topic is JB's favorite award segment, the Donald Don't Be Dumb Award.
Lord have mercy.
Unfortunately, we got to give this to two of the places, the only two places I've lived, and two of the three places JB's lived, DC and Atlanta. Now, DC, you know that's not a word. Y'all niggas cannot be down at the National Mall in the park, one, watching the bluebirds fly, and two, just niggas is out having crap games. They in the shopping centers doing car shows, driving up and down, looking like Need for Speed or Grand Theft Auto. And what's that movie, JB, with all the driving with Tyrese and all them in it?
Oh, Fast and the Furious.
Fast and Furious. Yeah, I gotta cut that shit out, man. Niggas just standing around outside in groups and clusters. Well, I got some terrible news today. Niggas was at the mall in Georgia today in line outside in the hundreds trying to get some goddamn Jordans.
Yeah, it was worse than that, New. Look at the picture I show. Well, actually, the picture is right there, y'all. That was the.
Oh yeah, I posted it. That's the mall.
Yeah, that's the mall yesterday. That's the mall yesterday,
I posted
y'all.
it.
That shit is absolutely crazy. And it was the Blue Angels who flew over, which was the reason why everybody was out there or whatever. But if the Blue Angels are flying over Piedmont Park, then they're also basically flying over Atlanta. So what a lot of motherfuckers did in our neighborhood actually knew was they didn't drive their asses down to Piedmont Park. They basically just went outside and stood out on their decks and looked at the Blue Angels.
I saw them driving by. I was on the sofa playing Madden, and I looked and was like, "That jet? What the fuck?" It's like 4 or 5 of them. Where they going? And then I didn't realize that was the Bluebirds, Blue Angels, whatever they call it.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I mean, it was worse today. I was just gonna say, and it was worse today. I just went for a drive today because I needed to get out of the house. I didn't get out the car. I didn't go anywhere I just drove around, and motherfuckers were out everywhere. You would think it was like Memorial Day, you know, like, I mean, no social distancing at all. I'm talking about multiple people crossing the pathway on the jogging trail, motherfuckers out grilling and barbecuing and shit in the park, niggas in the boats in the water, niggas swimming in the Chattahoochee River. Like, it was, I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, it would have been a beautiful scene if it wasn't COVID-19, because people were literally out frolicking. But like we talked about this yesterday when we were doing our pre-up for the show, how like motherfuckers will actually just listen to the government and not pay attention to common sense or to what their doctor or to what the Surgeon General is telling them. If the government says go outside, they're gonna go outside. And that to me is just batshit fucking stupid crazy, my G.
Yeah, and I be getting on people. Some people on this post right now be tired of me like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the thing. You going where? You doing what? I be fussing. I'm like, dog, stay your ass in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why people aren't staying in the house. And then now people, and I hate this whole little, you know, the people, you care too much, or why you worry about what somebody else doing. And I'm like, if you don't understand why 100 people standing in line to buy some shoes, and some of them have been contaminated or have it and pass it along, then they go home to their houses, to their family and friends, and then their family and friends go to work and go around their family and friends, and eventually it can get back to me. Just because 40 dumbass niggas are standing in line for some fucking Jordans. Like, it isn't as cut and dry as, well, if they die, don't worry about them. Nigga. It ain't that cut and dry. I can be at work tomorrow or whatever day, and my coworker could be dating a guy who's best friends with the guy who has a roommate that went to buy Jordans. And they took out away, chickle. Now I'm inside my office. They don't get it. They don't hear me though.
Yeah, I mean, they don't get it, and a lot of experts are expecting the number of COVID cases to increase rapidly now that things are opening up. I pray to God that doesn't happen, but real talk, young, we need to be ready for that outcome. You know what I'm saying? Because that's more than possible. It's probable at this point.
Yeah. DC, I am your mayor. It's new to mayor. Atlanta, I am your righteous ratchet. It's the righteous ratchet. Stay your black asses at home. Stay your asses home. It ain't worth it. It just ain't. And I know they say, well, you go out to get your supplies, you go out to get food. Yeah, I am risking my life every time I go get groceries. Yes, I am. I'm risking my life every time I go get something essential. I try to get bleach or Lysol, toilet paper. Yes, I am.
It's not as a motherfucker in here, young. Hold on. I'm gonna cut on the air because I'm sweating.
Yeah, I'm not risking my life for Jordans. I had to cut on my AC today because it was 80-something degrees. I tried to have the patio door open. I keep it cracked because I don't want to open it up too much because I don't want the COVID to come in. So I keep it cracked like that. Or you can't see it like that. But that little crack wasn't working today because it's 80-something degrees here in Atlanta. So I had to cut on the AC. And if you out here in the A, you know what I'm talking about. It's hot as shit today. It's a beautiful day. I wanted to be outside, goddammit.
That's better. I needed to get a fan or some shit on. It's hot. It's hot as shit in this joint.
What you drink? Let me know. I'll send you something.
Oh, she needs some liquor. I just read up.
Jeremy will say, well, I got an idea. Instead of Rihanna versus Beyonce, how about Beyonce versus Rihanna?
Really, Jeremy?
Cut his mic off, JB.
This Negro.
Oh, man. Kristen said you got a nice place.
Oh, thank you, darling. I try and decorate, try and do a little something.
All right, man. So we got our Nipsey Hussle Award, JB. And I like this app because as you can see, we got the awards and everything going along on the bottom of the screen. We got the logo right there.
Yeah, right there.
And my name right here. And then JB name. Well, I can't point on your screen, but y'all see his name over there too. Our Nipsey Hussle Awards.
He's the rapper. I'm the producer.
Perfect. Diddy made a statement, JB. He said, hey, man, Joe Biden has to show me what he's going to do for black people. He got to show me that whatever he does is going to benefit us. He has a specific agenda for us, but he's not getting our vote. He's not getting his vote. He's going to hold his vote hostage until Joe Biden speaks on what he's going to do specifically for black people. I love it. I did not love it 4 years ago when they were trying to do that with Trump. I thought it was a dumb strategy. And I said, if Trump gets in office, all this voting my interest, all this I'm voting my conscience shit, gonna fuck us up. I was like, he's too incompetent. It'll fucking want to be the end of the world. Some crazy shit will happen, and it's gonna fuck us all up. Can't let Trump win. You're fear-mongering, dude. You're trying to scare people. Look what the fuck happened. A fucking global pandemic where our country was hit the hardest. So yes, it is global, but who was hit the hardest?
Oh, we were hit the hardest by far.
Incompetence, yeah, right, because of the incompetence of Trump.
No doubt.
Trump and Hillary aren't the same, and Trump and Biden aren't the same. And that's what I'm getting at. So I do like the fact that we're holding Biden accountable, putting his feet to the fire. My biggest fear was something like this would happen. So I'm not afraid to have Trump another 4 years because this was what I feared. His incompetence would lead to something of this magnitude. And people said I was fear-mongering, I was trying to scare people. No, I was just being realistic.
Yeah.
I get tired of me knowing, and everybody else got to catch up. I got to wait for everybody else to figure out what the fuck I'm talking about. And now that we're here, I don't mind going, hey, man, y'all got to, Trump, Biden, you got to show us something. You got to show us something. I don't mind saying that, JB.
Yeah, I mean, that's real, especially when you look at the situation in terms of the fact that we're already going through Armageddon right now. Honestly, it can't get any worse. So our vote has to go towards making it better. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. It has to get better at this point. And I love Diddy using his influence and his frankly his speaker box, his power to say what needs to be said to someone who supposedly will be representing minorities. If you're gonna represent minorities, fucking represent minorities. It's just that simple,
Yeah, Christians say they're not the same, and it's wild and annoying that people are saying that. It's like, I guess with Biden, he has 30 years of political history behind him. Trump has 30 minutes, and really, and so I think that how the next 60 days go with this COVID-19 will determine if Trump gets reelected. It'll go a long way to determining that. If he continues to fumble this, he absolutely will not be reelected, not even by the Republicans. They won't want him. If he manages to flatten the curve, like in record time, meaning it's already too late. But if he manages to go from now to another 2-3 weeks, and 4 weeks, and the curve flattens, then that's going to go a long way towards his supporters. But I don't think he'll be reelected unless the sex allegations with Biden wound up costing him a lot. So, JB's old poker buddy, Uncle Joe Biden, found himself in quite the pickle of a situation. Tara Reid, not the one from TV, but Tara Reid is an associate he worked with back in the 90s, early 90s, is now coming forward accusing him of sexual assault. He has gone on to say he's denied it. He's categorically denied the claims. And I'll let JB break this down a little more for you guys, but they haven't been able to find the complaint that she allegedly filed. Even her herself has said that the complaint did not necessarily have anything about sexual assault in it. So I don't even know why that complaint is being brought up, but they can't seem to find it. And it looks like it may go away. If it does not, I can see that being a black eye. But I don't really know how, because Trump has been charged with sexual assault. He's fighting cases right now. And not that, one is better than the other, but I'm just saying that if it didn't derail Trump, it shouldn't derail Biden. JB?
Yeah, so this situation is crazy because she has accused Biden of sexual assault, and she says that she filed a complaint. Now, Joe Biden handled this, in my opinion, like a grown man do, because basically what he said is, I'm not going to discount this lady's allegations. However, she substantiated those by saying that she filed a complaint. Let's find the complaint. And he requested that the president of the Senate and that the National Archives actually go into his employment records so that they could locate any record of any complaint at all. And he said, if they find a complaint, then yeah. But I'm telling you, there is no complaint. And that's just the way he handled it. He's like, don't take my word for it. Let's find the evidence. I demand that the evidence be made public to everyone. He said that. And so he's like, if it happens, then so be it. And you got to respect a man who stands on those kinds of principles. He's not just going up there and saying, I had no relations with this woman. He's saying, my record will prove I had no relations. No sexual harassment situation with this woman. Go find it. And you gotta like the way he's sticking to his guns on that and sticking to the facts and not shaming the victim, because that is what he is not doing. He is not shaming the victim. He's saying, if she feels this way, I'm sorry that happened, first of all, but I don't think it didn't happen. So let's find the records. Let's not have me say whatever about her. Let's find the real records and then let's talk. And you got to respect that.
Yeah, it's Republican trickery. I don't want to dismiss it. I don't want to blow it off. But I do find it will be very interesting to see the country's response when Trump has these same allegations, worse allegations on him now. So we'll see.
Oh well, Trump was brought up on charges, and then he paid he paid a stripper to hide one of his set of charges. He paid her to basically walk away from it. And then there are other allegations. And then there's the live recorded tape with him saying how he grabbed women in the pussy. You know, like it just goes on and on and on, you know.
What up, She said, Jeremy say he loved the computer screen, us being able to bring in the articles and shit. And Kristen said that the story was brought up to split the Democrat vote to help the Republicans win because the general public is too lazy to dig into the details they already have in their mind that he's a rapist. I mean, yeah. I think what needs to happen is if we can get to the bottom of it, get to the bottom of it. But she's already recanting things she said, and it feels like it's just another distraction. And I hate to be dismissive, but I'm like, what are we talking about? I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. So I think we kind of got to move on with that. And I don't know about the Trump child trafficking case. I'm not sure about that. But if he does, that's even crazier. So, yeah, even crazier. Now we can get into something fun. We've been doing all this doom and gloom shit. We are all quarantined. We all stuck in the house. What are y'all watching? It is time for our Netflix and chill segment. And I really want to talk about The Last Kingdom.
So do I. I
just started The Last Kingdom. I'm on season 2. And the shit, man, I like it. It is Game of Thrones-esque. It's about London, the forming of the country. And JB has told me it is based on a true story. Like, these are real live people, real live incidents that, you know, they might have their little Hollywood magic on it, but this is real. And I'm loving it. The character Uhtred, I've been calling him Nutrient, No Breaks Nutrient. Because a lot of those shows, like Jon Snow, I liked him. He was too goody-goody for me, so I couldn't really relate to Jon Snow. So I fuck with like Arya or Jon Snow boy that was down with the grimy shit. But on this show, the main character, I can actually go, hey, I see you. You know what I'm saying? So Uhtred, I'm fucking with Uhtred heavy. I don't want to give any of the story away, but it's back in the olden days. It's in England, and it's for a battle for the throne. So in that regard, it is very similar to the premise of Game of Thrones. They're battling for the throne. They're battling for power, which is just like the election with, you know, Joe Biden and Donald Trump, battling for power, battling for money, battling for land. And it's a great show. It got me. Like I've been trying to start different shows, and I've been, you know, watch 3-4 episodes of this, 3-4 episodes of that. And this one, I'm in.
Yeah. I love this, Joe. You're finishing up season 1. I just finished season 4. So the good news about this one is there's plenty of programming available. You know, it ain't like a one season and done like many of the seasons on Netflix where they rope you into the story and you're like, oh shit, and then season over. You're like, God damn it, now I gotta wait another. If this joke gets a second season,
right.
There are 4 seasons available. You know, just to delve into a little more detail, I know you touched on it, but the story of England is a story of how 7 kingdoms became one, right? So it gives you a direct parallel to Game of Thrones. A lot of people say Game of Thrones is actually an allegory for the history of the formation of England. So it's a really, really neat story. All of the names are real. All of the people are real. A lot of the events are portrayed with historical accuracy. There really was a person called Uhtred of Bebbandir, who is the main character. So it's just a really, really interesting story, New, and I love it.
Yeah, man. The show is great, young. It's great. I'm loving it. Season 2 is starting, so I'm kind of working my way through season 2. And it's just like Game of Thrones. Characters you might grow to love just get whacked at the drop of a dime. You're just like, what the fuck? Oh, that was my guy. I'll fuck with her. Oh, man, that's crazy. So you're always wondering what's going to happen. And it's just, I'm at a good point. I don't want to say where I'm at for people who haven't watched it, but I'm starting to see certain things, and I'm starting to go,
Little
I see where you're
subplots and
going.
shit.
Yeah. So I definitely recommend the Last Kingdom. Another pick I got for you guys. I've been saying it damn near every week. I'm gonna say it again this week. Dave, Little Dickie's comedy produced by Kevin Hart. That's on FX. I've been watching it with the Hulu app, and today's episode was like, yo. But last week's episode was like, the fuck is this shit? Like,
Right.
what is this? Like, this is genius, and it's disturbing, and it's weird, and it's uncomfortable. But this is good. This is genius level shit. And that's all I'm gonna say, man. Like, Dave on FX, which I'm watching on the Hulu app. It's funny, it's witty, it's dry humor, it's hip hop, it's music, it's lyrics, it's talent, it's relationships, it's work, it's a comedy, it's a sitcom. It's 30 minutes. Watch it. Excuse me. JB, what else you got, JB? I know you're watching something.
I got another good geeky show called Penny Dreadful. This is yet again another Netflix show, but those of you like myself and remember a movie called The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, starring Sean Connery, and who's the dude from Queen of the Damned? Stuart Townsend as Dorian Gray. But that movie had Dorian Gray, the Invisible Man, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and Mina Harker from Dracula in it, right? And Alan Quatermain. Penny Dreadful has Alan Quatermain, Dorian Gray, Victor Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein, and the cast of characters continues to grow, but they are actually like Victorian fictional characters. So it has this really, really interesting historical element to it, and they frame it in Victorian times when so much crazy shit was going on. And they're open about what was going on in America, because America was killing Native Americans during that time, and what was going on in England. Cholera epidemic, industrial age, polluting the water and the skies, everything. They get into all of that shit. So it's just a really, really interesting show because they take a fantastic perspective and add it to, a historical milieu, a historical theme, and a historical time.
A historical what?
Milieu.
The fuck is that? They go JB with his gangster geek word of the week. Oh, I like that rhyme. The gangster geek word of the week. What is it?
Yeah, let me hold up. Let's do this right.
Why you looking that up? Jeremy said he just finished American Gods. I stopped after season 1. I need to go back. How many seasons is American Gods on now? 2 or 3? Black Sails. I heard of Black Sails, but I never watched it. Kristen says she loved Days. She caught up. She called it the White Atlanta. She said she heard about Penny Dreadful.
Yeah, Penny Dreadful is the shit. And so a milieu is a social environment. There it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
This nigga only speaking French and shit.
JB Gangsta Geek word of the week. There you have it.
Hey, so Jeremy brought up American Gods, and that reminded me of Westworld. I never watched Westworld after season 1. There are shows that I probably need to go back to. Westworld is one. I never finished How to Get Away with Murder. I want to finish that. I never finished. What's the new show we was watching, JB, with the kids, and they got powers, and they stay in their family house now?
Oh shit! The October Faction.
Yeah, I never finished that. See, I never finished Peaky Blinders. I watch so many podcasts and listen to so much music that it'd be hard to get to the shows. But I'm saying right now, I'm finishing The Last Kingdom. I'll figure everything else out after The Last Kingdom.
Yeah, that junk is worth finishing. That junk, yeah, I lost a little sleep on that junk. because that motherfucker is vicious.
Okay. Let's get into our eargasm segment. New music. Let's see. Where's my scroll across, JB? I don't see my scroll across for eargasm.
Yeah, sorry, I got caught up
fancy
finding
now,
articles
nigga.
and shit. I got caught up finding articles and shit. Now I didn't set up unjust expectations and shit. Now a nigga want this shit to pop up every fucking time. Yeah, I did that to myself. It's all good.
So the biggest news is Drake dropped a mixtape. He said his full length album is dropping in the summer. The mixtape is a compilation of some songs we've heard before. Some he did videos for, some were on SoundCloud, some were just on leaks, but now they're all put together nice and neat in one package. And I like it. I heard a couple of the songs, but it didn't really turn me off that I knew them. I like it. I like them all being together. I like my favorite songs on there right now are D4L with Young Thug and Future. That's on a Partner and Kickback playlist, by the way. My other favorite song is I don't even know the name of it. We say, I should have put you where no one could find you. Somebody tell me the name of that song. I should have put you where no one could find you. Whatever that song is called, whatever the name of that shit is.
Yeah. D4L is a real nice joint. You got Can't Stop by the Baby on that joint too.
Yeah.
That's a nice
Baby's new project. We got songs from there on there.
Yep. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull that motherfucker up so they can see what the fuck we talking about.
Oh. Yeah, Beyonce and Megan dropped a new record. The remix to Savage. B went off. I think B went off. Some people saying B went off and killed it. Some people saying B had an average verse. I think Beyonce did her thing on that jump. She said, if you ain't got to jump up and down and get in your jeans, then you don't feel my pain. I was like, woo. B said her ass got big after the twins. No disrespect, home. You still my guy. She said it, not me.
Yeah. That joint was mean.
And what JB is showing y'all is a Partner and Kickback playlist that we have on Apple, Tidal, and Spotify. We update it every Friday with new music. It's about 3 hours of music consistently. We take out, the older songs, the weaker songs. We throw in 5-10 new songs. And sometimes there's some oldies but goodies in there. And we do that, and it's just a playlist you can play during any time. Best in hip hop and R&B, the shit we like, not the radio shit, the shit that we like. Nicki Minaj and Doja Cat is on there. That song I think is fire. Got new Mozzie on there, new YG. I don't know if y'all can read the screen, but we got everything. Everything new that's popping. We got Trey Songz with Summer Walker, nigga. Their new song, Back Home. Where he be singing that new edition chorus. If it isn't love, I'm telling you, y'all better download this goddamn mixtape or this playlist and start playing.
We got some.
Thank you, Kristen. The song is called Desires. That's on there too.
Yep, you got Pinky Ring by Neo on there. That was an interesting cut. That was a really interesting cut.
She gave me back the wedding ring. I turned it to a pinky ring. That's what I did with Ashanti. Me and Ashanti broke up. She gave me back the wedding ring. I just turned it into a pinky ring. Pimpin'.
There it is.
Pimpin'. So that's some of the new music that's out. I'll tell you what I'm listening to that playlist. That's what I'm listening to. So I recommend you do the same. It's a pod name. Where the logo at? A pod name Kickback playlist on Apple, Spotify, and Tidal. So
look at my front dad trying to line up my finger and shit. Look.
Everybody saying, how come it's not on Tidal? The playlist on Tidal. The playlist is on Tidal now. Fuck with us. Oh, and I'm gonna take this time to send a special shout out to everybody that's been on Patreon. We are giving you guys on Patreon extra footage, behind the scenes footage. You know about a lot of things that everybody else doesn't know about, and we appreciate every week, every month, your contribution. We had 3 tiers, $2 a month. Come on, 50 cents a week. You don't think we worth 50 cents a week to keep this show going, to get new apps that allow us to put the words on the screen? $4 a month, that's $1 a week, or $7 a month. That's not even $2 a week. That's all we're asking, so that we don't have to come out of pocket for everything we do.
Yep.
Like I got to get on title, we had to buy a subscription. I got Apple Music already and Spotify. I gotta buy a title to give y'all the music every month. So I'm like, show us some love, fuck with us, make it a little easy for us. We in a pandemic, people. We in a pandemic, people.
There it is.
Show us some love. So we did our music, we did our Netflix and chill segment, and now we need to get into sports, JB.
Let's do it, man.
So the Dallas Cowboys just signed Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I saw that.
On one hand, I love the move because we don't have a good backup.
Yes.
And Andy Dalton, in my eyes, is a more than quality backup.
Yes.
However, if Jerry is using this as leverage in negotiations with Dak, I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, that seems kind of shady to me, and why? I think Dak has earned the bread at this point. I really do. So I think it's kind of shitty, honestly. I think it's shitty and shady. From a GM perspective, the Andy Dalton move, real talk, is the move that the Cowboys need to make, because what happens if Dak gets hurt? Y'all are fucked. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe potentially y'all aren't quite as fucked. That being said, Andy Dalton does have a very, very strong propensity to choke in the big games, which we don't like. But having a solid quarterback in that spot, I think, puts y'all in a good position. I don't think you need to sacrifice or jeopardize Dak with that process, though, New. I really don't.
Yeah, I agree. We need to sign Dak, get him in there. He only wants a 4-year deal, so when the collective bargaining agreement changes in 3 years, he'll be a free agent, and he'll be able to take advantage of the new TV money. And I'm not mad at him. They want to lock him up for 7-8 years. It's not going to happen. Dak ain't going for it. So, Jerry, get him in there. We got a brand new coach, brand new offense. We need to be prepared. We drafted CeeDee Lamb. We have our best offensive team we ever had, on paper at least.
Yes.
Get him in there early so we can do what the hell we got to do.
Well, and you also have Mike McCarthy, too, a head coach who is known for developing fucking like Hall of Fame quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? So get Dak up under McCarthy ASAP. Them niggas need to be zooming and shit right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They need to have a very, very positive milieu.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta say it like that.
The Gangster Geek word of the week. St. John is amazing. I fuck with St. John. St. John has been on the playlist for months and months and months. Chris, I'm pretty sure you have the playlist. But yeah, I don't think he's on now. The last song I took off was one with him and Lenny Kravitz. And I had McDonald's Money on there last year. I've had a couple of his songs on the playlist. So yeah, St. John is dope. Phony People got a new banger out with Made the Stallion. That's on the playlist. And Smee hit me, the Phony People. So the playlist, I think, is the best playlist you're gonna find, man. Jody Reyes, it's like, ain't nobody doing it like we doing it. I'm just gonna brag. We more than just a podcast. We do the kickback battles. We do the goddamn playlist. And we got an OnlyFans with JB be taking his clothes off. So y'all
hold up now. Hold up.
Saying,
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
Wait a minute. Take that off.
I had to shout her out. Thank you, love.
That needs to be removed expeditiously.
Had to get it up there.
Oh shit. What else? Oh, the Michael Jordan documentary, JB. Episodes 5 and 6 come on tonight. Now I'm gonna keep it 100. I've seen through episode 8 because I got sent a little, you know what I'm saying, a little care package. But I haven't seen the final 2, 9 and 10. Tonight's episode, I'm not gonna spoil it, but this is the Kobe episode.
Right.
So you'll get to hear from Kobe.
That's gonna be deep. That's gonna be serious.
Yeah. It was really, really good. And I'm going to tell you, in one of these episodes, man, coming up, Jordan speaks from the heart on a lot of different things. And It's riveting, man. It's riveting. I can only imagine what the last two are going to be like. Now, to be clear, we've only seen 1 through 4. 5 and 6 air tonight. 7 and 8 air next week. But I've already seen all the way through 8. And then 9 and 10, of course, airs in 3 weeks. It's riveting TV. You're locked in. You remember those days. That's when I first was falling in love with basketball. And that's when I used to be able to go around JB and tell you, I could tell you every player in the NBA stats, how many points, assists, games they played, family members, who their girlfriend was. Like, I was obsessed with the NBA and numbers.
He really was. It was kind of annoying, actually, but he really was very much obsessed. very, very, very much obsessed. But it's a dope documentary, though. There's no denying that. It's called The Last Dance, right?
Yeah, The Last Dance. And Phil Jackson named that because Jerry Krause had told him, you can win 82 games. You can go 82-0. You will not be back as a head coach. So they knew it was their last dance. And that's a damn shame they broke up that team. You don't break up a team that has 2 3-peats in a decade and just won their 6th championship. And players are not still in their prime, but just leaving their prime. Robin played another 2 years after that. Scottie played another 4 years after that. MJ came back 4 years later and played 2 years with the Wizards and averaged 20 points a game. They should have gotten one more shot. Here's the question, JB. The very next year, it was Tim Duncan and David Robinson Spurs. And I think they played the Knicks.
Yep.
I think, and lost.
Yep.
No.
They beat somebody.
They beat, I want to say the Pacers, the Nets, maybe the Nets.
Was it Jason Kidd's Nets?
That's what I just said.
Yeah. Oh no, I think it was. I was saying, was it Jason Kidd's Nets? Not was it the Nets?
Oh yeah. Now, what if it would have been the Bulls against David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Avery Johnson, Sean Elliott, and Vinny Del Negro? Against Ron Harper, Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, and Longley, and Kukoc.
That Bulls team had such incredible chemistry, and they were running that triangle offense to perfection at the time. A lot of people forget they were also the best defensive team in the league at that time. So, I mean, the Spurs had the Twin Towers back in the day, which was dope. I think it would have been a hell of a matchup issue for the Bulls, but I think they would have dealt with it. I think they would have got Rodman and Edwards on them Twin Towers, and that would have been over with.
I don't know, young. Tim Duncan, greatest power forward of all time, and David Robinson wasn't no slouch. See, the Bulls never had to go through any legit big man except Patrick Ewing.
That's true.
That's the only big man they had to go through. So I wonder if they would have played the Rockets in their 2-year run, how they would have handled Hakeem Olajuwon. And if they had won that year and came back one more year and had to play Tim Duncan and the Spurs, I still get an ass to the Bulls, but I think Tim Duncan and Dave Robinson would have gave them the fucking blues.
I think it would have gone Game 7 for real. And Jeremy is actually saying we could simulate that shit on live, so we can.
We can. I've done it. I haven't seen it, but I've been playing it. Like, I literally picked the Bulls and played against Houston. I'm actually, because on 2K they give you those legendary teams. So they got the 96-97 Bulls who won 72 games. And they have the Spurs of that next year, the 98 Spurs, I guess, 99 Spurs, I think. So this is what I do. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to watch that shit. I'm going to sit down and watch that shit.
That might actually be fun as shit. That might actually be fun as shit. Good little activity.
And there's a way, I think, that you can post the game you're playing on Facebook. If I figure out how to do it, I will post it. And then we can just watch it and get Drinking high.
I ain't watched no basketball in a long time, so I look forward to that shit.
Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try to figure that out. I'm gonna leave y'all with a feel-good story because I thought this was funny as hell. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Of course, I want to encourage you to sign up to our Patreon, patreon.com/apodnamekickback. Follow us on all social media at apodnamekickback. On Twitter, we had to make it at apodnamekb because Twitter be hating with the characters. But on Instagram, you definitely want to follow us on Instagram because we do our Instagram live battles every Friday night at 9 p.m. So this gentleman decided that he was going to spend his quarantine on the island. So he broke into Disney World in one of their islands and set up shop and was living there like a king till the police came. That's great, JB. That's just great. That's just great.
That nigga said, you know what? I'm a social distance from everybody. I'm going to go Tom Hanks on y'all asses and cast away. And hopped over on a tropical island. The crazy part was that he was trying to act like he didn't realize that it was private property and there was no trespassing, even though there were signs up everywhere. And the police were looking at him like, really done?
Like, really?
Like, they're standing there at a no trespassing sign, like, really? Like, no trespassing, my G? Like, really? That's what you said?
Like looking at the logo, really?
Right. They like, that's what you said? Like, for real. But you can't be mad at him, though, because, he was safe. He had fresh fruit every day, fresh fish every day.
Out there living his best life.
Yeah.
That's so crazy, man. I can't wait until this social distancing is over so we can get back out and do something. We ain't had a kickback. We the kickback crew. We ain't had a damn kickback in months. Since probably F's birthday in November. No, we might have had one in December. But, I mean, it's been nothing this year, I don't think. We might have got together with some fellas and did some shit.
Yeah, no kickbacks this year. None.
That's crazy. Man, I want to say I hope you guys are safe. And this is something nobody ever talks about. When I go grocery shopping, I come home, I lay down trash bags on my floor, and I put my items on the trash bags, and I wipe them down with I don't have Clorox wipes, so I spray the paper towels with bleach, and I wipe down the outside packaging of everything I buy, and I still let it sit in my second station, and then I move it to a cabinet or to a refrigerator. And some things I leave on the actual station for a day or two. My clothes, when I come in, I take them off and I hang them up in the closet in the living room, or like not in the closet, but on the closet door. And I wipe everything down, and then I go take a shower immediately. I'm hoping I'm doing the best that I can, but I'm gonna give you guys a peek. I don't know what you can see right here, but let's see. Let me try to show y'all. So. If y'all can see this, I went and bought some gloves, but I had to make sure they was clean first. And these are my clothes that I wore about 4 days ago, down to my drawers. I hang them up, and that's like my little station where I do shit. Just so you can have an idea of what the precautions I take. Now, if you have a better system, stick to your better system. But if you don't have a system, that is what I do. And I just take it in phases. You make it to the first workstation, then you make it to my dining room table, and then you make it to the counter or the refrigerator. And that's just the best thing I could think of to do.
Yeah, and if you don't have a face mask, you can always just tie up a bandana real quick before you go out. It's just that quick. Just like that. Boom. Yep. Just like that. And you good. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard, y'all. It's really not.
We should be doing everything we can, man.
Stay safe out here.
To stay safe out here, so when the world opens back up, we can go do all the fun shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we just want you guys to be safe. Enjoy yourselves. We're gonna keep giving you content. We record a podcast every Sunday night. It goes up every Monday, and every Friday we do the kickback battle. And I'm gonna try to sneak in some shit on like Wednesday. maybe that'll be the IG Live. I'll do the one-on-ones with whoever want to talk to me on IG Live on Wednesdays. But we're trying to give y'all the best content we can. We love you. Stay safe. If you've been affected by COVID-19 in a personal way, we love you. We're praying for you. We here with you. Positive energy to you and yours. And we hope for at least an hour or two, we gave you a little break.
Yeah, man. Good night and God bless y'all. Be good.
Uno, we out. Follow us everywhere. Everywhere.